Hi, I'm Rob Pats.
I'm Jason Webb. This is Thrive with Rob and Jason. We're already struggling this morning, Rob.
It's it's the struggle bus this morning. It
Yes.
definitely is. I wanted to come on here and tell you, you know what? It's summertime and the living is easy.
You were just telling me about this. It's an old Broadway too, right?
That's it. It's a Gershwin tune, actually. And it's summertime. Are you ready for summer? I know you're getting ready to
Man,
go
I am ready for summer. I live in Colorado. It does snow here from time to time, and I am
in
not a fan.
in
I like the
July.
warm weather.
In July? Does it snow in
Hey,
July?
it's still snowing up at the peaks in July. Yeah, you look up there. There's still snow-capped peaks.
So when I lived in Seattle, I lived on the north side of Seattle, and I could see Mount Baker, and we could see, of course, see Rainier too,
Mhm.
and we would get snow all the way into. It wasn't shocking to see it in June. Now July, August, it was shocking if it happened then.
Yeah,
But oh yeah, we
that's the same here. I've been up to the top of Pikes Peak in the summer, and yeah, there's still snow up there. I was in shorts, but did not expect it to be snowing up there.
oh yeah. Well, so we're our family vacation this year. We're going to Tahoe with
Awesome.
Kristen's mom and dad and her brother and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law and my niece. We're all going to go to Tahoe. And of course, being the guy that is actually from the mountains and lived in them, I'm telling him, listen, you better pack a hoodie.
So you never know,
You
right?
better.
You got
You
to be
never
prepared.
know. No, and it's kind of one of those things where they're showing right now the lows in Tahoe, and we're going to be there over 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
Lows in Tahoe are 40 degrees at night.
Mm-hmm. That's the best
And
part, right? The cool
to me,
evening, warm days. Oh man, see, I do love that.
oh, I love that. It's like it's my jam.
Yep,
So, hey,
exactly.
something else that's my jam. We're giving away some subscriptions
Yes,
to
the Tuvu, right? I know you have a hard
yes,
time saying it. It's okay.
I do.
Tuvu, a
Tuvu.
network. It's a social media platform that you can be a part of our community. We've partnered with Tuvu to be able to give away a free subscription to that platform. So if you click that QR code, it's a great program. We're actually having them on our network next week in an interview, so you can join that and check out more about that. But in the meantime, grab that QR code.
Yes, you can get a chance to win. We're giving away, I don't remember how many there are. It's on the website. If you go to there, the QR code gives you how many we're giving away. We're giving away a ton of these. You can follow poor Jason. Go follow Jason. I think that should just be a
I
part.
need some friends.
I think you should just sign up. It's the neat part about it. It's only $5 a month, and it's no ads, no weird people messaging you, and just great.
Faith-based.
Yep, it's a great community, but Jason needs so this should be your drive. Even if you don't win, go sign up, follow Jason. Just follow my buddy. Follow him.
I appreciate that, Rob.
Let's get Jason to 20. It was super funny because I was talking with somebody actually yesterday about Tuvu, and I said, she's like, yeah, I've been on for a long time, and I said, really? Oh, cool. How many people do you have? And she was like, I don't know. And I had more people, and I've only been on 2 months. So shout out to Linda Hanson if you're watching, Linda. There you go, Linda. You get your plug for the day. But hey, if you want to win a free subscription, head to the QR code, and we are going to be giving those away over the summertime, and the living is easy. And so we're going to be doing that, and your chance to easily get in and get access. But if you're saying, Rob, I am never lucky, you can go and sign up. Use in the referrer, mention us, mention Abundant TV. We appreciate it. Hey, buddy,
yeah,
we're ready. We're ready for summer. But you know what else is important in the summertime is your health,
yes,
and your family, and all kinds of things like that. That's what we always hope Thrive is about. Tell us about our guest today.
Our guest today is a gentleman that I've got to be really close friends with over the past year. I'm doing some other work with. Daryl Buchert here is an incredible individual. He's much smarter than I am. When he talks to me, it just kind of flies over my head. I kind of glaze over with the eyes. Daryl, I love you, man. Just what you guys do with the trust method and some other things we're building out within Kingdom Health, which we'll get into all of that on today's show. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself.
Sure. Live in beautiful Chilliwack, British Columbia. I can see Mount Baker from here, basically. Um, so
There you
which
go.
is capped with snow currently. Um, and you're totally right. I was listening in the back room there. You got to plan for 3 seasons,
Oh
like
yeah.
like in the span of a day. So
Yes.
do that, and you're good to go. Um, family, got 2 teenagers, and yeah, I just really love I really love helping people like thrive in their business. I think that our businesses have the ability just to do way more than just put food on the table.
I think
And
it's
So before we get serious, and I asked this question because my father's Canadian, so no Canadian hate mail after we're done with this. But why don't you guys call it Canadian bacon? I mean, you should be
I
proud
know
of
it's
your
just
bacon,
bacon.
huh?
It's just bacon.
No,
Why does
See,
bacon
when
need
he's
a
in Canada, it's not Canadian bacon; it's just bacon to
it's
them.
just bacon.
Rob.
no, it's not. They
They
call it
call us
Canadian.
American
Trust me,
bacon. See,
they call it back bacon. They do that too.
Yeah. I'm always confused when someone says Canadian bacon. I'm like, what are we talking about? Like a slice of ham? Or are we talking about like,
It's it
sizzle
was
bacon? It just is
it
like,
was a pig that migrated from Canada to the United States to be on our plate. That's
oh man, but it
just
we
things I
spent an
actually
wonder
entire
about.
show
is part of
talking
the
about,
Keystone Health
hey, let's say
program.
this
So
word and what does it actually mean to you?
Yes.
Based on the fact that we're so physically close and yet it might mean something different. It was pretty fun.
Oh,
we got to throw you off a little bit here, Dale. See,
all my Canadian relatives right now are just shaking their head, going, "He really, he didn't really say that, did he?" And I'm like, "Yeah, he did."
Yeah.
so Daryl, you talk about thriving with with business and life, but you've also been in the world of thriving with health. Tell us a little bit about your background with that.
Well, I actually spent over a decade in the space. I was working more in physical health. Like, so I help people understand their biomechanics, made orthotics, made knee braces, made ankle braces, and worked, in a clinical setting, and then, interfacing with literally every medical professional out there. And it's interesting reflecting back just how much of that journey is actually I'm now bringing forward into new initiatives we're doing now. Is there are people with a real problem, and it's actually affecting their ability. It's amazing. Like, we take walking for granted,
Right.
and you don't appreciate walking until you can't do it.
Yeah.
And like, that's something I would hear on a daily basis from people. Try being really happy. Try like being a great server of people. If you wake up and your feet hurt, like it's an amazing way to be grumpy.
And it affects everything that you do, and people don't realize that it starts with your feet, as with all your movement.
Yeah. And so I don't think I appreciated it at the time. I think it's more connecting it backwards. Like, there's these little things that we overlook that are just become these like foundations, and they either set us up for success or they make it almost impossible for us to succeed.
Which I love that as a transition. As we talk, let's start talking into maybe your 2 different things you get into, the Trust Method and Kingdom Health. Well, you just started with that conversation there, bringing it back to you start with the end goal in mind. You're talking about walking, and so I know me and you, we've talked this past week on that in terms of what does success look like in businesses, and how do you find out where you're going, and your analogy of that in terms of a roadmap was fantastic. Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think a lot of people start at the start and try to connect the dots forward. And our approach has always been, well, what does success actually look like? And you have to even break that apart into, well, what does success look like for me as a business, me as a person, right? Obviously, you need to find a way to put bread on the table, and set your family up and things like that. But also, like, what hidden in that is there's a level of satisfaction in your work that God's actually programmed into us. Like go look at how much work is mentioned in the Bible. This is something we're supposed to do, and we're supposed to do it joyfully, which means this is, hey, if you love gardening and breaking your back with a hoe all day, then that's awesome. But that's how, when we think of work, we think of like drudgery. This is something we get to be, it's a gift. So our satisfaction should factor into our success, which means we're working with the kinds of people that, are best positioned to, appreciate our wisdom. That implies that there's people who are maybe not positioned to, that, and maybe there's someone else that's better positioned for them. So that when I think of success, it isn't just, hey, I've made a paycheck. It's like, I enjoyed this. I really got to be myself. I got to help them at the highest level, and also then what was their success look like? And again, we kind of look at, well, they got the result. Well, the result to me is only one part of success. That person also needs to enjoy and understand and appreciate and grow, because receiving high quality work, like I'm thinking about Seth Godin talks about it as art.
Mhm.
Receiving that kind of art changes someone. There's a
Yeah.
transformation that goes on.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you really, the more you're aware of that, we now know where we're starting. We're starting with, like, our goal is, man, I'm thriving as a person serving people. My business is thriving. This person is now able to thrive. That's where we've got to. Now we can actually connect the dots backwards of how did we get there?
Yeah. Well, that's the trust method. It's you and your wife are coaches within this and helping businesses
Yeah.
thrive within their businesses by finding out, okay, exactly what does success look for you and your clients, and then you walk back with it. I know you sent me and actually an article that was just produced from one of your clients, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was interesting. She's a travel advisor.
Mhm.
And person of faith. She's awesome. It's been fun to journey with her in the last several years. But she's just been recognized, like at her conference nationally. And then one of the reporters that was, I mean, they're travel agents. They had their conference on
Yeah.
a cruise ship.
Well, that's not a bad thing.
There's an inherent wisdom to what they're doing. I think a boring boring hotel somewhere.
Yes. Yes.
And you're like, no, we're on a cruise ship to Alaska, and that's where we're going to do our conference. So, but anyway, she's just talking about how she's got to a high level of service and freedom. She's like, when I'm done work for the day, I'm done. And so you guys are talking about summer. Well, one of the things with summer is like, hey, we want to get outside and enjoy things,
Mhm.
but I want to do that and enjoy it, not have that nagging feeling of like, oh, did I do that thing that's super critical that if I don't do it, it's going to cost me thousands, or I'm going to screw up someone's situation.
Mhm.
That's so in the trust method, we're starting with this goal of like, what does total success look like? And we're working back to a system that, like, you always know where you are. Clients always know where they are. And so at the end of the day, you can power your computer down and know that you've done everything that was necessary. And you're not relying on your memory. You're not waking up at 2 a.m. like, oh my goodness, I forgot to do this thing.
Mhm.
And that's where I see so many people being stuck.
Yeah.
They're either just super reliant on their intuition, which is great. I mean, you serve from the heart, but you're just reacting.
Mhm.
And yet you're reacting at 11 p.m. You're reacting at 5 a.m. and your body has a violent reaction often. Or you're just forgetting because, that reaction requires you to be having a great day. And most of us know that life happens and trials come and we're not often at our peak. Or you're just like, you're just in react mode and you're not quite sure what it is that you're doing, or you lose sight of like, well, what does this person need to hear from me today?
Mhm.
Head down. Hey, I'm doing my thing. We'll get you success. I'll drag you there. But that person's kind of emotionally stunted, not understanding what's going on.
Yeah, and in conversations that we've had, a lot of my businesses, your businesses, and everything we do, the one thing that really, really stands out to me is that client journey. Because again, now people might know their success, or if they're building a business, they don't maybe they don't know what their business is, but once they figure that out and figure out what success looks like for their clients. Because as we always talk about, if you have an idea or something to work with in people, find a problem, find a way to fix it, right? And so success looks like fixing that problem, but it might be a little bit different than that. So that client journey of getting there, a lot of people don't necessarily realize that what that looks like, because they just say, look, I have a problem, or here's the problem for my client. Here's the solution. It's fixed, which is kind of me. And you've walked me through that. So,
Yeah.
so
I
the
know
client,
the conversation we were having.
yeah.
If it doesn't work for your wife or your teenage daughter,
Mhm.
oh, hey, you just told me there's a problem. I have a solution. Here you go.
Yeah.
It doesn't work for your clients either.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And so, yeah, don't assume. You need to start working and figuring that out. And so I just, with your heart and your wife, Jody's heart, it's super incredible and cool. How did the trust method start? Since I know you did medical before, and now, you guys coach this for quite a few years now.
Yeah, we've a very long winding story. It started with a fairly rapid departure out of that medical space, realizing that my time in that space was done,
Mhm.
and I think we called it an early midlife crisis, basically. Um, It led us to about 3 years of spending half our time in Mexico, volunteering with the charity down there, which we're still involved with, and just trying to explore like, hey, there has to be more to life than this, right? That getting in the drudgery. I was already sort of in the like, okay, just suck it up and make it to retirement. And I was like, wait a second, I'm in like my early 30s. That's a long time from now. This sounds like I just signing myself up for torture. So that's why we joked about it being a midlife crisis. What we saw down there was amazing people working from the heart that were so locked into what they were doing that they didn't have the bandwidth to invite people into it. And I saw this really neat story, and I know this for the city of Mazatlan because that's where we were at. You as a tourist can go volunteer for an hour, 2 hours per day for a week, and there's these really neat opportunities to mix vacation and service together. And unless you were physically and standing in front of that church, you wouldn't know about it. And I was like, that's a crime. They don't know how to involve people in that journey. And that sort of was the origin of connecting all of these dots together to say, you know what, the journey of someone getting there is as important as the work that they do, like the money that they would donate or the help that they would give. And it's totally missed because everyone's so focused on this end goal. They just forget to kind of allow someone to transform and actually have a path of transformation. And so we came back and said, you know what, businesses are the same. We're so focused on this end goal. Like, hey, you came to me to get, to sell your house. You came to me to book this trip. And they're like, yeah, I'll do it. Awesome. I got the best product. And, we just do success to people and we're awesome at doing it. And then we're wondering, where's the loyalty? Where's the referrals? Where's the retention? Why isn't this customer coming back? And it's because they have no idea what happened to them.
Yeah, they just got this problem solved. So there's no client journey on that.
Yeah.
Well, the analogy that you gave me that we talked about, you said that it was a roadmap. Say you're coming, you're going from LA to New York or whatever this is, where you're going to go, the destinations or what that success is. And now you can walk back and see, okay, there's different routes to get there. Where are you going to stop here? Where are you going to do that? And so when you think about that, it really resonated with me on that roadmap of saying, okay, well, let's experience this through this whole journey, through this trip. It's not just about the success.
Yeah. And thinking about them kind of in major legs that, we'll obsess about, I'll obsess about what I'm going to do in LA. And it's like, listen, you're still on the other side of the continent. Like and there's a big leg you got to get through. And there's a lot of details in that leg. Where are we refueling, sleeping, all that, that kind of stuff. And the way to kind of create your journey is to go backwards and say, well, hey, if I'm timing that I want to be at this national park when these wildflowers bloom, well, I need to kind of know that before I start, that there's a time and a season for these different things. And you frame these things out and then you can just work the flow logically. I'm fairly obsessed with like time-based movies. So anything Christopher Nolan, because he's, I think, the master of playing with alternative views of time. And that's sort of how I look at client journey, is you have to be willing to look at it reverse and then letting it play back out again. And I know most people aren't good at that, which is why that's the thing that
like I told you,
I'm going to do that for you.
Like I told you, he's much smarter than me, and it just goes over my head. I understand. He breaks it down much easier, but when we first started talking about this, I'm like, this is above me. I'm not that smart.
So it's almost like you're saying you have to re-engineer or you reverse engineering what you're doing.
Completely.
Yeah, and that's really cool. That's of course during World War II and stuff. If they captured something that was military wise, they were then sending it back and reverse engineering it. And so a lot of ways, I love that because that's kind of the way events that we do, my company does. We do a post event, basically like an autopsy of the event. And we go back and go, okay, this is what worked right away. And we do it right away. And that's what sometimes looking back is the only way to get to where you need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're in the flow of time, I mean, hopefully you've set yourself up just to react. And a lot of us are great reactors. I don't know why I did that, but I did it and it worked. Right. I know Jason and I have had that conversation.
I've done that a lot. Yeah.
Someone will come in and have a problem and you just solve it. And then afterwards you're like, I just literally made up a framework to solve that. and I don't know how I did that. Right. And so it's really hard. And we want to create a program. We're like, I don't know how to, I just do. It actually ultimately is a fallacy that keeps us trapped in that react mode.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a process behind what you're doing. We just have to find it.
Yep.
And reverse engineering is an amazing way to do that, simply because like your starting point is certainty.
Mm-hmm.
I succeeded, they succeeded. No one was harmed in the making of said success. That worked. I liked that. I want more of that. How did we do that? What were the things that happened? What was I doing? What were they doing? What was necessary for them to do? What was necessary for them to feel, which is a huge part of client journey.
Oh, completely. Yeah. What that looks like. And, I kind of want to transition here into kind of the next topic that we want to get over to is Kingdom Health. And so when we're talking about that client journey, this is something that you, Jess, that's been on our show before, and myself have kind of been building out for the past year. And that's the reason why we really started talking about a lot of this client journey, what this looks like. Talk to me about Kingdom Health. I know about it, but tell the audience about it.
Well, yeah, just like we're made to serve people through our work. Mm-hmm. Our bodies aren't our own. Mm-hmm. Like it is something that we give, and we're saying, hey, Holy Spirit, fill me. This is now the temple of my body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. Mm-hmm. And it's a resource. Like the realization of that is like, well, my body choices are no longer my own. And I know just saying that could make for some hot button topics, but like, mm-hmm. that's what I've given up in order to receive faith through Jesus. I have to look at my actions differently. Mm-hmm. I don't get to just be friends with the people I want and not to others. Like I have to, far be it to me to be make peace with everyone. Mm-hmm. Right. And our bodies are no different. Our bodies are the vessels that produce work on earth. And Jesus knew that. Jesus was aware of the needs of his body, even the weaknesses of his body, the amount that he prayed, the amount that he fasted, the amount that he was able to extract the most from himself for his mission. That's our call as well. The challenge is we've all mismanaged our health. Mm-hmm. And it's because we're trying to do it our way.
Well, I like how always Jess puts it, raise your hand if you've ever had a health issue or a journey within health. And I think everybody raises their hand. Yeah. And so the Kingdom Health aspect, it's more than just health. And that's the reason why it's really resonated with me, with Rob, with Jess, with everybody that has interacted with Kingdom Health. It's been amazing. And so we do have the QR code for Kingdom Health down there. Check that out because there's actually going to be a free challenge that they're going to be starting here very quickly to start getting people in the knowledge of what that looks like. Free to join the challenge, to check that out, to get this out to the masses. But tell it, like, I know you and Jess have really started building this out. What's the success look like in that, as we just talked about? What's the client success?
Well, the first thing is in the word. Health is second. So we've all been on a health journey, but it's a self-directed health journey. And the core of this is saying, well, this is about God's kingdom first. So we're going to put God first, and we're going to understand how our health fits in with that. And so if that's the starting point, we've reverse engineered this from what does full discipleship, apprenticeship look like? And what is someone doing? And we've literally reversed engineered and to create our program. So if I was to share the map of this, we have 2 programs that have been penciled out because they're like the ultimate step that someone needs to take. Someone like Jess who's been in it. These are things that Jess is living that are normalized for him, and so we've sort of sketched that out. And I said, okay, this is where we want to get people to, but almost no one is ready to start here. So then we're like, well, but the thing that they need to do before this is develop these skills. And so that's where we started creating our programming. Okay. So it's a really interesting way of like, ultimately I'm taking you to this program that I actually want to make because that's, I'm like, but no one's ready for that. But I need to understand, how do they succeed? Who is this person that can succeed in this final set as an apprentice? Well, they need to learn to value apprenticeship. So that's where we need to, so we've got an 8-week program that really goes in and resets our mind to be able to accept the kingdom first message. Well, then what comes before that? Well, we need we need a softer invite, something that someone can start to understand. And so that's where the challenge comes in. And, we're doing our effectively the trust method thing to Kingdom Health to say, do we have all the pieces of this challenge so that it can welcome in people who are curious, they can understand what's going on, and then they'll know how to take a step that's fitting with their journey. And one of that step might be towards something that we've created, but we've also created other avenues for them to continue exploring the kingdom so that they can bring their health to it in that specific order. Some people just need to spend more time like hearing from God. And so we're trying to create avenues for that to happen so that there's an internal challenge to do it, but you're not being forced into a program or being sold into something at a time that isn't right for you.
Got it. Well, within the Kingdom Health, model and framework, who ideally is this for? And I know our audience, faith-based, everything within this. Tell exactly who you're looking at to bring into this.
Well, I think you said who's here has been on a faith
Everybody
on a health journey, right? Who here has been on a faith journey?
Yeah.
And I think the starting point for this is really realizing I've tried everything. I've tried it my way, and I've tried it my way 100 different ways, and I end up at the same point. And there has to be a frustration of, you know what? Enough is enough. I have to do it a different way. And ultimately, it's very similar to the call that Jesus made. To be a disciple meant to sit at the feet of the master. And there's a willingness to go back and be a student of something, which means we have to humble like even our mind, our intellect, what we think that we know about health and food and all of these things, and say, you know what? I've tried all of that, and I'm still back here, and I'm frustrated, and it's not working for me. The starting point is like, God, show me this. Show me how.
Yeah, most people want to fix it with just food, right? And it can't be just fixed with just food. It's mind, spirit, body. It's all of these things all coming to Jesus. And so that's what I really love about Kingdom Health.
The real parallel between Kingdom Health and Trust Method, because they're very, very similar. We're actually even realigning Trust Method a little bit to align better with Kingdom Health, just because we can. But is we all have this disposition to solve tactically. So people want to insert a really neat sales thing into their business. So they want to like, oh, what do I say to get a referral? Or what do I do to do this? I'm going to get this app that suggests the next task to do and all that kind of stuff. And we want to solve it topically with these little things. And they work to a point and then they don't work. Yeah. And really what's common is like, I need to understand what's actually happening. In the case of Kingdom Health, this is about willingness to sit at the feet of Jesus and understand, how was I actually made?
Yeah.
And where has my agenda blocked what you've given to me? God's promised us abundance. Our bodies are meant to thrive. And yet we find ways to block that ability to thrive.
Yeah, which we've done from the day one, at Adam and Eve, and it started with food, right? An apple. And so
it's not lost on us. Like, hey, the very first thing where we put our will in front of what was best for us and what God wanted for us was an article of food.
Well, Daryl, man, I really appreciate you guys. Really check out Kingdom Health again. Free challenge down there with the QR code. Check it out, man. Join this program. It is amazing, and like the transformative principles, everything that happens with this. Rob, what we got? Any more finish up? Man?
Thank you, Daryl. Thanks so much. Hey guys, it has been fun. Great job, Jason. You did awesome. Now I want to go out and drink some more water for Jess. I'm going to do that. Hey, we'll see you again next week. Go out and